Hey guys, what's going on? We have a nice special TFT for you here. We got 9 Inferno, that's right, 9. We got it for a few games, didn't get it for the whole game, obviously, but we have it for a few games. So starting off, we got our starting items. I started recording a little late, so I apologize for that, but we've got Negatron, Needless, Tier, and Crit Glove, little Brawler's Glove there for you. And as you can see, we've won 2 out of our 3 early games, and I am in 3rd place. So with that, we're gonna grab our Giant's Belt for Morello's. Great item, gonna be good for late game Amumu, and we toss it onto our Renekton, going up against a Desert Warden early game comp here. Our Renekton's got a pretty solid positioning here, and we are easily going to be able to take out these level 1 Wardens, as all of our units are level 2, so that is obviously very good, and we're slowly but surely going to win here. And then Renekton's going to head over there and take out the Sivir with Bloodthirster. This comp, you got to have early Zyras, early Diana, so 6 Inferno difficult, but if you have those early game units, super easy to grab. As you can see, we end up picking up a Kindred here. We're looking for Varus now, so that way we can have Ranger Inferno with a little bit of a Warden buff going on. And we do end up picking up a couple of orbs here. We end up picking up Archangels, which is going to be really good for Kindred, and a couple of tiny orbs for gold. Going to the next round, you can see that we have leveled up to 6. We've got our 3 Inferno, 2 Ranger, and 2 Warden. Renekton kind of just holding the spot of where Amumu's going to be. And yeah, we are up against another Inferno player, but it looks like our comp is a little bit better than his. So going from this last one, we're going to the carousel. We're unfortunately in 1st, and we're looking for components for GA or Negatron. And, Negatron's the only one left, so we're going to grab that, pick up the Dragon's Claw. Such a good item, especially if you're facing a lot of comps with magic damage. So we chuck that on Nasus. We've gotten rid of Renekton now because, more Inferno, the better. We've gotten Nautilus in because Nautilus just such a great Warden with that free knockup. Every time he gets his ultimate, lasts so long, it's super annoying, and we end up picking up a Nico's Help and another Brawler's Glove. So with that, we are going to end up slapping that onto Diana, because Diana with these gloves is super good, and we have picked up the Annie. So now we are just 1 unit away from getting that 6 Inferno. We end up going up against a 3 Cloud Warden Desert comp. Not really that great, does not really stand to match our 5 Inferno, 2 Warden, and 2 Ranger composition. Moving from there into this last carousel of single items, we want that GA, and lucky for us, even though we're in 1st, there are 2 Chain Vests left over, and we end up using our Nico's Help to get Annie 2. Tibbers 2, though, coming out here with 2200 health and twice as much damage on impact and with each hit, so I had to use the Nico's Help on that and get Annie 2. Going into this again, we're at 5 Inferno, 2 Ranger, and 2 Warden, going up against some Desert Mountain Cloud comp here. Very strange, but unfortunately for us, this guy's Kha'Zix does have the Mountain buff with an Archangel's and Deathblade, so he is zooming around. He's got a ton of shield. He's not taking any real damage yet, but lucky for us, Diana with that Warmogs is going to tank up a few extra hits there. Kindred jumping around, kiting him around, and then Tibbers is going to finish him off. Lucky enough for us, that Kha'Zix was running a huge muck, and we end up picking up a Cloud Lux here. Sliding to the next one, we've got our item round here. We don't really have anything sitting on the sidelines. We don't really need anything either. We've gotten all our items. We just need our Amumu now. We're sitting at some pretty good econ here with 40 gold. So we're feeling pretty comfortable here, but we only end up picking up a Negatron and a BF sword. So we just throw that on Kindred, give her that nice free Bloodthirster that we got, and then we end up picking up Amumu. Incredibly lucky here, 6 Inferno with our Amumu with great items. Let's see how it goes against this 4 Shadow, 4 Inferno, and a Thresh comp. As you can see, Diana in the back there with the Titanic Hydra doing some splash damage. Cloud Lux whiffing on the ultimate, but luckily Amumu with the GA just comes back up and single-handedly ults Kindred all by herself. Moving right from that game, we're going to be up against Rangers. You know, we've got the classic Ranger setup here, except that it does have a 5th Ranger of Vayne, so you don't really see that too often, usually Vayne not being in the Ranger comps, but Amumu getting a huge fat ultimate off. They're all targeting him, and he's taking so much less damage because of the Dragon's Claw. He's able to get a 2nd ult off, and we're able to melt down this Ashe easily. Moving from that fight, we've got a really odd composition here. 2 out of 3 assassins, Mystic Mountain, Desert Cloud. Very, very interesting comp here, but again, that Kha'Zix running around with Archangels. Kha'Zix 2 with Archangels is just so good. You know, this comp sucks, but he just makes it almost work. Keyword being almost. Luckily, we have Tibbers here, and with our Cloud Lux ourselves, we are able to dodge out on a few of his abilities and slowly but surely pick up this win with the Diana with Thieves' Gloves. Speaking of Thieves' Gloves, we end up picking them up from the 5-4 carousel. Somehow nobody wanted them. Nobody wanted the free extra 2 items, 2 whole items, and we're able to chuck that onto Annie. Now our Annie is going to have a lot more items and be able to possibly ult a lot sooner. Again, we're against Rangers here. Nice little Lunar Rangers, but unfortunately we just end up slapping them every time. The Amumu just so good against these guys, really just stunning them all and just tanking against them very hard. Even with this guy's Ashe, he's just no match for the 6 Inferno. Burning our way into the next fight, we are up against another Inferno, or sorry, light player here. He's got Blade Master Yorick going on, and unfortunately, as you can see, our Amumu has been Zephyred. With him out of the way, they're able to get to our backline quite easily. Soraka out here silencing some people, and we unfortunately do take that L, but look at Amumu just hitting off with 2 massive ultimates. Wait for it, there it is, the 2nd ultimate. Just huge damage coming out from that Amumu. Definitely going to want to pick up those items for him if you do want to go this comp. Moving from that game, we're going to go against another Inferno team here. This one having a little more items on Brand and Kindred than we do. Usually you don't want to run Brand as he's one of the units that does not complement Inferno that well. He's the only mage in Inferno, where Inferno has 2 summoners and can have 2 assassins as well as 2 summoners, so Brand not usually the greatest, but he does end up pulling off the W for that guy. As you can see here, we have 3 Singe as a possibility, and I almost ended up going in. I was like, oh, maybe level 3 Singe, or level 2 Singe rather, but level 2 Singe not actually doing as much damage as I would like, so I do end up selling these, but I did throw him in there just to see if he could help us out, and he does. He's a pretty decent tank, and again, we just run over this Ranger player with ease. Unfortunately, Ranger's just getting decimated by Inferno. Moving from that game, we're going back to the very awkward comp here. That is a Warden Assassin Mystic Cloud Desert comp. Very weird. You know, you don't see that too often, but Amumu getting his ult off, you know, stunning up some of the characters. Unfortunately, Nami's rolling over us with some waves, Zed spawning some clones, but luckily for us, it does not matter. Tibber's too big to handle, and we're able to take down that awkward composition. So as you can see here, we picked up the Inferno bonus. We've got one more Amumu. I throw that Inferno bonus on Nami because she's going to spread that Inferno bonus everywhere. I pull a risky maneuver here. I'm seeing Luxes. I'm like, you know what? I'll get an Inferno Lux. I know it. We roll again. We roll one more time, and boom, we get Inferno Lux with a level 2 Amumu. That's 9 Inferno. Unfortunately for us, we do end up fighting both these guys at the same time. I fight this guy, and then the other one fights my clone. Amumu gets Zephyred again, but it just doesn't matter. 9 Inferno, so strong. We don't even need the Amumu ult to kill anyone here now. We're just too fucking big. And unfortunately, the game's going to end right after this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, we will see you in the next one. Later.